Climate change is a developing problem throughout the world, but Alaska sees the effects at a more rapid pace. From what I have learned, climate change appears to be a very debatable topic. Many view it as a huge dilemma, while others choose not to believe in it. Some may disagree, but it is definitely happening. Nobody knows exactly what the future may hold, but it is certain that we will be witnessing major changes.
I fully believe that we as a species have affected the climate, the world climate in that way, from using fossil fuels and so on.
The world has become dependent on the burning of fuel in order to produce everything. Your clothes are created by making, the furniture is made that way, our buildings are made that way. Everything is centered around industry, and industry's burning of fossil fuels in order to do that.
Some people will say, it's volcanoes. When volcanoes erupt, they cause ash, and that cools the planet for a period of time. Or the sun is letting off more radiation over the last 200 years. But the vast majority of global climate change is human-caused.
Background says that the Earth's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. And eventually it's all going to catch up. Eventually you're going to see less ice. You're going to see higher water in the ocean. Water levels will rise because all the ice will melt. That's going to continue to happen. We're seeing changes in Alaska faster. So on the temperature front, you're seeing areas that have been frozen for hundreds of years now suddenly not frozen. This year will be the smallest extent of ice in the Arctic that there's ever been. The waters in Alaska will be the warmest they've ever been.
10 of the warmest years in record have happened within the last 20 years, and 9 of those has happened since the year 2000.
Even if we stop driving all our cars tomorrow, it's going to take the world 200 years to equilibrate, to balance from the carbon dioxide that's currently in the atmosphere. It still will take 200 years to continue balancing between the ocean and the atmosphere if we stop tomorrow. No more cars. So that means we're going to have to deal with this, whether we like it or not. So to change that, after hundreds of years, would cost massive amounts of money. So from a political perspective, a business perspective, it's difficult to stop climate change because it would cost a lot of money. My family's in the Midwest and they had one of the coldest years on record this year. So they tell me there can't be climate change, there can't be warm states. So they had an incredibly horrible winter. They don't believe in this global warming money. So there's a lot of people who have a hard time wanting to go in that direction.
You could choose to believe that whatever is happening in the Earth's climate is a cause of man and do something about it.
I do not believe that people can affect it. I really don't.
If you're wrong, is there any? Can you see any downside to being wrong on that? It's like, oh, I was wrong. It's not caused by man. Oh, but we tried to do something about lowering emissions. The only risk I see is that people choosing not to believe.
I mean, you guys in 30 years, you will be living in a environment that is totally different than anything I have seen.
In your lifetime, you're going to see some major changes. That's for sure.